We are bringing you a live picture right now above the Texas A&M University campus in Commerce, Texas. That's about 260 miles north of Austin. There has been a shooting there. If you want to take a look, we are hovering above campus there. This is a live picture being brought to us by the helicopter from the NBC station in Dallas, Texas. And as you can see, there is still traffic streamed by the campus, but we wanted to provide some information about what we know so far. Texas A&M University in Commerce, and we want to reiterate that this is at the Commerce location for Texas A&M University. The university is reporting that there have been 3 people involved in a shooting. 2 of those people have now died, and a 3rd person has been taken to the hospital for treatment. At the moment, there is a shelter in place at campus there, and we've been looking at the live stream for a few minutes now, and people are really abiding by this. As you can see, though, there are some people still walking about, and a moment ago we were able to see police and other law enforcement gathered around a residence hall. This shooting apparently happened at the Pride Rock Residence Hall at the A&M Commerce campus. And what the university is saying is that 2 people have now died and a 3rd person has been hurt and taken to the hospital for treatment. As you can see, though, there are people still milling about campus, even though there is a shelter in place there. But details are still coming in from both the university and from campus police. A moment ago, I want to pull up the Twitter feed from the Texas A&M University-Commerce University Police Department. This is the campus's own police department. They tweeted about an hour ago that University Police is currently working an active criminal investigation at Pride Rock. That is the residence hall that you're seeing right there in the middle of your screen, that area with those blue umbrellas, the parking lot there. And as the helicopter camera is zooming in, you can see that there is crime scene tape all around that university building, and police are gathered there awaiting details. Again, the University Police Department had tweeted that there are students, faculty, and staff members are asked to shelter in place until further notice. All classes have been canceled for the remainder of the day and into the evening. This, again, is at the Texas A&M University campus in Commerce. That's northeast of Dallas in a community there. Just to bring back everyone up to speed, we are working to gather more information about a shooting that happened at the Texas A&M University-Commerce campus. The university is saying that there was a shooting inside the Pride Rock Residence Hall, and that's what you're looking at right now. Police there on campus have cordoned off that area, and as you see, an officer is walking up to this, what looks like an ATV vehicle that was used by campus police. What the police there are saying, though, is that 2 people have died and a 3rd is now in the hospital. A shelter in place has been issued for the campus. The university has put that notice out to all the students, staff members, and other employees at the campus. And it appears that that remains in effect at this hour. I'm going to try to look up some more information from Twitter, as well as the Texas A&M University-Commerce website. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to leave up the image that you're seeing right here. This is from the KXAS NBC in Dallas. This is their helicopter providing this shot for us as you see officers milling about this parking lot outside the residence hall where this shooting happened, where 2 people died and a 3rd person has been taken to the hospital. Will Dupree once again here in the KXAN live studio. I want to tell you all that we just got an update from the Texas A&M University-Commerce University Police Department. They just tweeted within seconds ago the precautionary shelter-in-place recommendations have now been lifted. So you saw some students walking around a little bit earlier if you were watching our live stream from this helicopter shot there. Now the shelter in place has been lifted at this college campus, and the police are also saying due to the ongoing investigation, Pride Rock, which is that residence hall you're looking at right here, and the surrounding areas are still blocked off. The Rayburn Student Center is available for students that may be displaced by the ongoing investigation. So the students who may want to go back to their residence hall are now being directed to the Student Center while police are still investigating this shooting. To recap for everyone once again, and I apologize for sharing information that some of you may have already learned, but for anybody that's just joining us, what we know now is that 2 people have died and a third has been taken to the hospital after a shooting inside the Pride Rock Residence Hall, and that's at the Texas A&M University-Commerce campus. We want to reiterate again, this is in Commerce, which is northeast of Dallas, about 260 miles north of here in Austin. As you see, their shelter in place has now been lifted and students are free to walk around campus again. However, the residence hall where this shooting happened remains closed while university police still investigate what happened there. This is an active crime scene inside that residence hall at the moment. I just checked the Texas A&M University-Commerce website, and they have updated as well that says the emergency shelter in place has now been lifted. What we now know, though, is that counselors are going to be available at the Student Center for anyone who needs assistance coping with this situation. Again, the helicopter zooming in there as you see crime scene tape surrounding this residence hall there at the Texas A&M University-Commerce campus. Officers on standby there as that investigation unfolds inside that facility. Back behind there, in a minute, they'll probably zoom the shot out and we'll see that university residence hall once again so that we can get a better sense of what this situation is there. But what we know now is that the emergency shelter in place has been lifted. And again, as you take a look there at the helicopter shot, that building in there with that circular structure kind of in the middle, that is the residence hall where this shooting apparently happened there. It's called the Pride Rock Residence Hall. What the university is saying is that 2 people have unfortunately died because of this shooting, and a third person has now been taken to the hospital. As you see in that footage there that I'm looking at from the helicopter, officers remain at the entrances and exits at this building, as well as crime scene tape stretching all around it. No one's going in or out, it appears, because of the investigation happening inside. Will Dupree here in the KXAN Live studio. You are looking live right now at an image above the Texas A&M University-Commerce campus. A shooting happened there not too long ago at that particular college, and we now know that 2 people have died and a third victim has been taken to the hospital for treatment after that shooting. As you can see, there are students milling about campus at this point. A shelter in place has now been lifted. However, there is an active crime scene investigation happening inside that dorm there. It's called the Pride Rock Residence Hall, and that's where the shooting took place. As you can see, it appears state troopers as well as university police from Texas A&M University-Commerce. They are all on scene responding to this situation and have yet to provide many details about what exactly happened ahead of the shooting and what their investigation has uncovered so far. It obviously is very early because this happened not too long ago, so we will await answers on that. But at least we can share with you all that the shelter in place has been lifted at this particular campus. And we know 2 people have died and 1 person has been taken to the hospital. The university is saying that they're making counselors available to any students or staff members that might be traumatized or affected by this particular tragedy. And of course, they will be available to those students for quite some time, I would imagine. Thanks again for joining us here on KXAN Live. We want to reiterate what we know so far about this shooting at the Texas A&M University-Commerce campus. And again, that's northeast of Dallas, about 260 miles north of here in Austin. What we know now is that the university is saying 2 people have died and a 3rd person has been taken to the hospital after a shooting inside a residence hall on that campus. The university police is on scene right there, as you see. That's one of the A&M Commerce police officers. They had tweeted out earlier, and the university also posted that the shelter in place on campus has now been lifted. However, this particular residence hall, which you're looking at right now, all those officers are manning the doors, standing by the sidewalks and everything. Let out some students just a few moments ago that were still inside the dorm, but that's where their investigation is focusing. It's the Pride Rock Residence Hall. And again, just to repeat these details, if you're just joining us, we want to make sure you all are up to date with information that we know. We know that 2 people have died after a shooting, and a 3rd person has now been taken to the hospital. The university is saying that all the students who might live there and are not able to go back into this particular dorm are now being taken to the student center, and there are counselors available to those students so that they can provide some emotional assistance as well as other resources to people affected by this tragedy because undoubtedly it has there on campus. We are looking live right now again from the helicopter from NBC Dallas. They are flying overhead right now providing pictures of this dorm where this shooting happened. The dorm's name, again, is the Pride Rock Residence Hall. This is it right there in the middle of your screen. There's crime scene tape surrounding all of it. Texas A&M University-Commerce police officers remain there on the scene investigating. And if you look over there in the right-hand corner, you'll also see some Texas State troopers who have responded to this situation and likely providing assistance. There they are right there, walking in the parking lot. For anyone who might know an employee there or a student or something, the university has said they have canceled classes for the rest of the day and into this evening because of this investigation that is still unfolding there at Texas A&M University in Commerce. And if you're unfamiliar with that area, I want to pull up a map as we continue to monitor this live feed from the helicopter from NBC Dallas. I want to take quickly this map that you can see. Here's Austin down here at the bottom of your screen as I'm circling that with the mouse there. And then far northeast from us is Commerce, northeast of Dallas even. It's about 260 miles north of Austin. But as we zoom in here, this is the community where this shooting has happened. 2 people again have died and another has been taken to the hospital. Let's go back to our live feed now provided by this helicopter, and we'll take that full screen so that you all can see crime scene tapes still surrounding that dorm, and they're not allowing any students to go in or out at this point because of the investigation. I'm Will Dupree here in the KXAN Live Center. I was just trying to look up some more information, any potential new information that has come in from our different sources that we've been checking since we brought this live stream to you in this live picture over Texas A&M Commerce. Again, there are 2 people that have died and a third that has been taken to the hospital after a shooting at this residence hall. It's to the left of your screen right there, that building that's kind of in an L shape with that round rotunda center section. This is the residence hall where this has happened. It's called the Pride Rock Residence Hall. The university police officers remain at the doors there as their investigation unfolds. We also saw Texas state troopers responding, helping with this particular situation. Crime scene tapes surrounding that dorm right there as they are not allowing students to go in, directing those students instead to the student center. And that's where they're also providing counselors to anyone who might be affected by this particular shooting.